So guess what? You are able to use Mickey Mouse for whatever you want to in your artwork, merchandise, whatever. Let's come back. Let me rephrase that. You are able to use the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse for whatever you want to. It is now in the public domain for you to use. So why is this important? As the new year is happening, basically there's a lot of intellectual property rights that are expiring, and now you're able to use it because it has fallen into the public domain. Why is that important for an artist and creative? Mainly because we build on things in the past, ideas in the past, art forms in the past to create something new. And the copyrights for our work will expire in the future so that future generations are able to build on the stuff that we create now. And it's a great reminder when it comes to the things that you're able to use as a medium, as inspiration in your practice. So things like Winnie the Pooh or Frankenstein, Tarzan, these iconic characters are now in the public domain, so you're able to use it for whatever you want to. So for example, a film director made a horror film based off of Winnie the Pooh called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And he can do that because Winnie the Pooh is now in the public domain. And you can do the same with a lot of the characters that are in the public domain without the fear of getting a cease and desist letter, because these companies will send you a cease and desist letter if they still own the copyrights and it hasn't expired. So for example, the Bob Marley estate will definitely send you a cease and desist letter if you're using anything from the Bob Marley estate and the intellectual property rights without their permission. Same with Nike, same with Adidas, same with a lot of clothing brands, same with a lot of artists and labels that do music. They are notorious for making sure their intellectual property rights are protected. And the last thing you want to do is get one of those letters, because the only people that are really profiting from this are lawyers. And there are a lot of artists that will still use a lot of these popular characters that are not in the public domain, and they'll do some really big works, some great works, and not have to worry sometimes about getting that cease and desist letter. Whereas other artists, you know, they'll get a cease and desist letter if they put their work out there. For example, Cause the artist is a really dope artist, really illustrative, but he'll use a lot of references from The Simpsons, from SpongeBob, Snoopy from the Charlie Brown Peanuts cartoon, and he'll use it freely and put it out there, but it's like he infuses it with his own style and his own mix. And one of the things that I think why these companies don't come after an artist like Cause is because they like to be associated with dope art, dope culture, and you know, it doesn't hurt that your brand is associated with really dope art that's being sold at Sotheby's. Whereas other artists who are just doing, you know, airbrush t-shirts online and trying to sell mugs of SpongeBob or, you know, Snoopy on something, they'll get a cease and desist letter. And others have to make sure that they don't infringe or draw attention to these bigger brands so that they don't get that cease and desist letter. And what I think it is if they're able to benefit from the work that you're doing that has parts of their intellectual property in it, they'll let it go and slide. And if you're just profiting off of it, you know, they'll definitely come after you. So for example, during Halloween, you can always see in the costume store these sort of bootleg knockoff costumes like America Warrior or the Red Ninja, video game guy. I've seen that a lot. And these companies know what they're doing. That's why they change up the name, change it just enough to where they can kind of avert the cease and desist letter from the lawyers. And this is why it's important, because, you know, you can always borrow from popular culture and bring that into your workspace, your practice. And just knowing that there's a public domain to where you can actually cipher through and just like find inspiration without having to get permission is great. So some of these trademarks that are about to expire within the next decade or so are things like Donald Duck, Superman, Wizard of Oz, Batman, Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, King Kong, Betty Boop, Popeye. So all those different characters in a decade or two are going to be able to be used in your work for whatever. So you can actually make your own Batman movie if you want to.
They're saying it wrong. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
But you gotta wait for it to expire. So if you want to know more about what's about to expire in the next decade, you can always Google a phrase like what IP is about to be in the public domain and throw in a year. So you can get a ton of websites. The University of Duke has a webpage where they show you what's in the public domain starting January 1st. And that's what they call January 1st Public Domain Day. So hopefully this video is a great reminder when it comes to that area of public domain and copyrights and trademarks and things that you can and can't use, and you know, things just to think about when it comes to inspiration inspiration and what you can include in your work. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share this information with any artist that you think would benefit, and I will see you next time. Peace.